All right. Last time we talked, we were talking about declarative, imperative, interrogative, and exclamatory sentences. And we were talking about, the 4 different kinds of sentences that we can have. And again, what I gave you as an example to do was I just told you that I wanted you to do the exclamatory sentences for me, and I think it was just exclamatory, and then there was the exclamatory sentence that we were going to do. I think I asked you to do something. I said, well, give me 2 words that I told you to use for each one of the exclamatory sentences. Yes, what? What and how. So I told you to use what and how. And that was important because I told you that a lot of times in an exclamatory sentence we can use the word what and how, and that will identify immediately to us what kind of sentence that is, especially if the what and the how is not a question. So in an exclamatory sentence we use the word what and how, and you'll see that in the example here. It's going to be a what and how kind of question, but it's not going to be one that's going to end with a question mark. It's going to end with an exclamation point rather than that. So let's take a look at it again. Let's look at what kinds of sentences we have. I want to talk about all 4 kinds of sentences first, and then kind of like identify all 4 kinds of sentences. And I don't see my pointer up here. So, but anyway, I'm going to point to them. Let's go. Declarative does what? Tells. Imperative commands. Interrogative asks. And exclamatory exclaims. Okay? So you have your declarative, which tells something. Tells somebody to do something. You have your imperative, which commands. And your interrogative that asks. And then your exclamatory that exclaims. Now I have down here 4 different kinds of sentences that we're going to put the ending onto it. Remember, what does a declarative sentence end with? Yes, Lanai. Yes, it's going to end with a period. So a declarative sentence is going to end with a period. And let's see if I can maybe make that another color so that that'll stand out a little bit. Let's put it another color. Let's use our blue. Okay, so a declarative sentence ends with a period. What kind of ending does a imperative sentence end with? It's a command. What kind of punctuation does an imperative sentence end with? Montreal? Yeah, it's going to end with a period as well. So we're going to put a period here for this one, because that's going to end with a period. What about an interrogative sentence? What about an interrogative sentence? Does an interrogative sentence is a question, isn't it? It asks. So what does it end with? Devari? Question mark. Yes. So we're going to have a question mark here for an interrogative sentence, and we'll end with a question mark. And then you have your last one, which is exclamatory, which is what I gave you for homework to do. And I'm going to let Caden. Caden, what do you think that exclamatory ends with?
Exclamation point.
An exclamation point. Correct. And it's going to end just like that. Usually with an exclamatory sentence, what kind of word does it start with again, Caden?
What and how.
What and how. So we're gonna see if that works out. What about this one here? Number 1. What an excellent job you did. What an excellent job you did. Is that a question, or is that a exclamation? Yes. Yeah, that's going to be an exclamation mark, because it's really showing excitement, isn't it? Someone is excited about the job that the person did. And let's say that Emil went into, he was cleaning out the garage, and his mom comes out, and his mom looks at the garage after Emil finished cleaning the garage, and it was spotless. And mom said, A meal. What an excellent job you did, you know. And so that's what Mom could say. And I'm sure she'd be very proud of your meal if you clean out that garage this weekend too. You know, so anyway, just joking with you, Emil. Don't look too serious. Okay, let's go on. Now, how about this one? Try to do better. Try to do better. Try to do better. Is that a declarative sentence, an imperative sentence, or an interrogative sentence, or an exclamatory sentence? Is that a sentence that tells? Is that a sentence that commands? Or is that a sentence that asks or exclaims? Try to do better. Try to do better. Let's get Lanaya. Huh? It's an imperative, isn't it? It's telling us to do something. What is it telling us to do, Bryce? What are they telling us to do? To do better, right? So they're telling us to do better. Try to do better. So that means that's going to end with a what? Period. Okay, so it's going to end with a period. We're going to put a period right there. And that would be at the end of this sentence, of course. I'm just putting it on that line right here. So the next one is I have a pair of new shoes. I have a pair of new shoes. Is that a sentence that tells, commands, asks, or exclaims? Let's get Emil. What do you say, Emil? Tells. It tells us. It gives us information. I have a pair of new shoes. And I'd be saying, oh yeah, wow, that's really nice. And so it's information. So that one ends with a what, class? Period. Okay, right. It ends with a period. And then the last one, of course. Let's read this one together.
Are you coming to my birthday party?
And I know you want to know that one. Is that a one that tells, commands, asks, or exclaims? What do you say, Bryce? It asks, right. And that ends with a what? Yes. Question mark, of course. So we're going to put our question mark there. Okay, what I'd like you to do is I want you to take some time while I'm looking at your homework and checking it. I want you to take some time and I want you to write me one of each one of these kinds of sentences. And that'll be for what you to do right now. So go ahead and start on that. And those people who are doing it online and doing homework, you can just go ahead and write 4 kinds of sentences for me as well.